Well, it was already after 9 in the morning, and he figured he could go out back and get something started on his garden. Feel the earth in your fingers, as his mother always said. She said a lot of those weird, earthy things. Phil767 headed outdoors. He could feel the sun getting hot as he walked into the backyard. His house was actually his first home away from his parents. It was on 629th Street. He lived in house number 78, part of the CAI, Certified Android Industries, Industrial Block 13, located in Platonia. CAI, where Phil767 was employed, actually owned the house. He just lived in it. Phil767 paused for a moment. He heard a large truck thunder down the road, hauling a new home for the 700 area streets. As he actually started feeling the earth in his fingers, or digging in the dirt with his hands in that stony rubble kai called soil, he thought about technology and his father. It was day 6. His dad had the day off today, too. His father worked for a new home establishment company called Global Homes. All of their digging was done with machines. The homes in this area had been built and delivered by Global Homes. His dad worked on the production line. He wasn't a part of the delivery and setup crew. His dad told him that before a home can be delivered, a ground crew established the site and mapped it out using a satellite surveying system. When they were finished surveying the site, they called in for the automated excavation to begin. A large excavation robot, excavator, arrived on the site, along with a small crew to oversee the work and troubleshoot. The excavator was a robot that almost resembled a mechanical gorilla sitting on rubberized tracks. The huge arm-like backhoes on each side of the apparent torso would dig a foundation with ease. Information about the building site was communicated to the XK, and its every move was choreographed and executed with precision accuracy via satellite. The system's satellite signal guided the entire process from start to finish. The XK accomplished its tasks flawlessly. Construction workers stayed on site to oversee the progress. After the excavation was completed, the XK could place the basement walls. The basement walls were made in the factory and delivered. The concrete floor would be poured once the foundation walls were set in place by XK, and the area around the home would be roughly graded. The following day, the home could be delivered and set in place, while the XK moved to the next site. By the end of that day, the home would be ready to be lived in, except for the driveway and yard work. Yeah, the yard work. This was exactly what Phil767 had decided to accomplish himself at his new place, with his mother's encouragement, of course. Kneeling down on the ground, Phil767 struggled to scratch his way through the soil with his fingertips. "There are an awful lot of stones in the backyard," he said quietly as he gritted his teeth. He examined his fingertips as he stood up. "I think a digging tool is required, Rune." Rune had followed him outside and was standing right next to him. Phil767 could swear that he heard Rune snicker, but that was just Phil767's projection of a presumed emotion. "Sir," Rune replied. Rune was his Asima, and of course felt no emotion. Phil767 thought he might upload a new personality soon, but he guessed he'd been gaming too much to do so. Rune seemed nice and all, he just lacked personable replies. Rune had a computer-generated, politically correct, automated voice response. The Asima looked like an average Joe. He stood almost exactly 6 feet tall. He had short, black, curly hair, dark brown eyes, and a smooth, clear, synthetic complexion. He had no facial hair except for his eyebrows. They were narrow and straight and perfectly groomed. His nose was somewhat pointy and moderately sized for his face. His lips were thin and light. His face lacked expression, always looking calm and reserved. This conservative appearance matched his stale, politically correct conversations. "Can I ask what you are doing?" Rooney inquired. "Trying to wear down the ends of my fingers, okay? Do you think that is wise?" Rune replied politely. "No, do you know what sarcasm is?" "Sarcasm, remarks that—" Phil767 interrupted. "Rune, go get me a shovel or something." "Sir?" Rune turned and began walking toward the small white storage shed in the back corner of the yard. Phil767 was about to. Well, at least he was considering resuming digging with his hands when he heard a delivery truck backing into the driveway. "Rune, go and speak with the delivery truck before you bring the digging tools." "Yes, sir," he replied. Rune changed direction and headed toward the driveway. He met the driver and checked off the items being delivered as Phil767 pondered how he would set up the flower garden in the backyard. I hope you enjoyed this sample of Phil767 the Reluctant Luminary. Find out what happens next. Follow for more content and click on the link below, phil767.com. Thank you for listening.